A live look outside where once again it is really cold and only going to get colder. We'll tell you if we will ever see spring. And after sitting empty for years, a West Side building has a new look and purpose.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at 5:30.
Thanks for watching News 3 Now at 5:30. I'm Amanda Quintana. 1 year ago today, it was a balmy 45 degrees in Madison. Today, not so much. Dave Caulfield is on the weather patio with how cold it is going to get this week. Dave?
Well, Amanda, the warmest it's felt in Madison today has been -1. Temperatures barely got into the teens for highs on the thermometer readings this afternoon, and it will feel a whole lot colder than that as we head into tonight and tomorrow morning. Here's a look in Madison in the WISC-TV Skycam. At least we had the sunshine today. It was deceptively cold, though, with that sun throughout this Sunday. 10 degrees is our temperature right now, but with that wind out of the west-northwest at 8 miles per hour, it feels like -2 outside. 12 in Janesville, still in the single digits in Monroe and Mineral Point, and close to 0 in Platteville and Dubuque, Iowa. Wind speeds out of the north and west at about 8 to 15 miles per hour, making it feel like -9 in Lone Rock and Mineral Point, -19 already in Platteville, and -21 closer to Decorah in northeastern Iowa. We are under a wind chill advisory that starts later tonight until the middle of tomorrow morning, and that is for the entire state of Wisconsin. Some very, very cold air is here, and even colder air on the way as we head into later tonight, with temperatures falling through the single digits below 0 by the time we get to 10 p.m. with partly cloudy skies on the way. We'll talk about just how cold it will feel as we wake up on Monday morning in your News 3 Now First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dave. Officials with Porchlight say the cold has been difficult for those experiencing homelessness and the people trying to help them. They say services during the cold are limited, and the extreme cold has been a strain on the small amount of staff they have. Coming up tonight at 10 on News 3 Now's Amy Reed will speak with warming shelter officials about how they're doing their best to help those in need. As we go through another one of these polar blasts, make sure you've got the News 3 Now First Alert weather app. It provides the latest on weather and traffic. It's free to download in your app store. Madison police are looking for the person who shot a 22-year-old man overnight and any other details in this case. Officers responded to the 1100 block of Mendota Street on the east side around 1 a.m., but they didn't find any shell casings there. They found the injured man at Meriter Hospital. He was still being treated there this morning. Anyone with information about the shooting should call Madison Area Crime Stoppers. Police in Oshkosh are investigating what led to the death of a man and a woman over the weekend. Officers say they found the 26-year-old man and 26-year-old woman with multiple gunshot wounds. The two people did know each other. Police say they're not looking for a suspect at this time, but the public is not in danger. A UW-Milwaukee professor has been charged with sexual assault. Anthony Azenabor is a professor in the College of Health Sciences. He was charged with second-degree sexual assault, use of force, and fourth-degree sexual assault. According to court records, the incident took place last spring. It's still unclear if his role as a professor had anything to do with the alleged incidents. He is no longer allowed on the UW-Milwaukee campus. Researchers say less teen pregnancies is contributing to the lowest number of babies being born in the state in more than 40 years. Data from the State Department of Health Services show there were less than 65,000 babies born in 2017. That's the lowest in the state since 1973. Teen births have dropped 60% over a decade. Some other concerning data: low birth weight in babies is increasing. Doctors at the CDC say the flu is peaking in many states right now, but the numbers are still increasing in Wisconsin. There's even an uncommon strain to watch out for that's starting to show up more. H3N2 has more severe symptoms like high fever, chills, and body aches. Experts say because the flu hasn't peaked here, we're going to see a lot more cases before it gets better. While it won't completely protect you, doctors say it still isn't too late to get a flu shot. Governor Evers is waiting to propose any action toward chronic wasting disease. He didn't offer any additional funding or initiatives in his state budget proposal last week, despite years of demands from his own party for action. The Evers administration says they're waiting to address the disease until after the Department of Natural Resources comes up with their own plan. Former Governor Scott Walker took criticism for not aggressively tackling the disease. More local news now. You may remember it as the Westside Business Club or even a school in recent years. That property on South Junction Road in Madison sat empty. As our Madeline O'Neill shows us, the building now has a new look and purpose, one that's pretty unique in Madison.
I think that this was a building that everybody was interested to see what would happen.
Until 2013, this building was home to the Westside Business Club.
I came to brunch here a number of times, and actually my husband and I looked into this place for our wedding.
Before that,
The schoolhouse is where it all started. Over many years, they did multiple additions.
Dating back more than 100 years, this is an old one-room schoolhouse. Now, instead of students, it will be welcoming a different population.
We're the third owner and trying to do it justice. It's a wonderful building with a lot of history.
Madison area veterinarians Keetra Kai and Mia Hospital are reopening this building for pets. And their owners too.
I really love interacting with the animals, of course. I really love interacting with the people.
With a new name on this old building, neighbors had to stop by for a tour.
Going up here, we have the original floors that we refinished.
The old one-room schoolhouse will be the boarding area for cats.
The cats all have cat trees.
The rest of the 15,000 square foot building has space for boarding dogs, daycare, and a full veterinary clinic.
To be able to go and have everything in one building under one group of people who know your pet, that is very unique. Principal's office was either right here or right here.
The building has a purpose again, and Kai Hospital and their clients have a new place to call their own.
We feel like we've given it some loving care so that it can be with us for decades, maybe another 100 years to come.
In Madison,
We would love that.
Madeline O'Neill, News 3 Now.
Passion for Pets Veterinary Clinic, boarding and daycare officially opened all operations in December. A Delafield woman who lost her husband is now turning the tragedy into something positive. Shirley Yagoda's husband, Dr. Brian Yagoda, was killed while riding his bike last June. So she's making it her mission to fix roads so bicyclists can be safer. She went to Waukesha County wanting to pave the shoulder where her husband was hit. However, the county said they didn't have the money.
Did not want to wait 5 years and hope it gets on the budget. I wanted to do it now.
So Shirley raised $80,000 and donated it to the county. The county approved the donation and is now looking for bids to get the work done. Waukesha DPW says the paving will be done in this year's construction cycle sometime this summer. Shirley says she's not finished with her mission. She wants to raise more money to pave more bike paths in the area. Coming up, one of the benefits of the cold, seeing some of Wisconsin's winter beauty. But all this snow has actually shut down one of the state's favorite icy traditions. Despite the cold and the snow this winter, people won't be able to get out and see a northern Wisconsin tradition this year. Park rangers at the Apostle Islands National Lake Shore say the ice at the famous ice caves is fractured and rough. That makes it unsafe for visitors. All of the snow northern Wisconsin has received is insulating the ice, making it too soft. The ice caves haven't been accessible to the public since 2015. More local news now. The cold this morning didn't stop people from bowling for a reason. The annual Bowlin' for Colin's fundraiser took place this morning at several bowling alleys in the area, sponsored by the UW Carbone Cancer Center. The event raises money for colon cancer research. Experts say it's a disease that impacts many people in our community.
I think a lot of people here have a personal connection to this disease, unfortunately, and so these diseases have touched multiple households, so it's great to see people come here on this very cold Sunday morning, and it's great to see a community get together, raise money and awareness for this research and for these diseases.
This was the 18th year of this event. Monona Terrace was full of comic fandom today. Fans young and old attended the Madison Comic-Con to share their love of everything comics. The show featured vendors, artists, and creators, along with games, comics, and toys. Kids received free admission and a comic book at the door and could come in costume to participate in the Masquerade Parade, while older comic fans could reminisce about comics of the past.
The first comic, that flipping that first page, and that kid or even someone who's never read comics in their life get that like spark. I can see that in people and they just go, wow, I need to come back to this.
The event was part of MightyCon, a group that organizes shows across the Midwest. Madison just celebrated its 25th anniversary with its sister city of Camagüey, Cuba, and a group of local professional musicians got to mark that milestone. Madison's sister city relationship with Camagüey includes humanitarian assistance like the Wisconsin Medical Project and also group cultural trips. This year, the relationship blossomed into a musical conversation.
When you show up in a place like Camagüey, which has a sense of its culture, an appreciation for music, an appreciation for jazz, for good music, and you show up with 10 American jazz musicians, something's going to happen.
Tomorrow on News 3 Now This Morning, photojournalist Melissa Baleen will share the highlights from the jazz performances that are helping bridge the gap between Madison and Cuba. A bitterly cold start to the week. Dave Caulfield has your first alert forecast when we come back, including a chance for a little snow.
Good evening. I hope you had a really nice Sunday. It was a pretty crazy day weather-wise for much of the East Coast. For us, we saw a lot of sunshine, but heavy snow moving into the Northeast, the Southeast, including portions of Alabama into Georgia and South Carolina. Tornado watches and warnings throughout the day. But we've been quiet with high pressure dominating our weather over southern Wisconsin. We could see not much happening on Doppler track. I expect that to be the case for much of the next couple of days, although a few flurries possible later tomorrow night. But that's not the big story. The big story is the cold on the way for the next few days. Here's a look in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. A nice sunset taking shape. Similar story in Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. Not too many clouds to talk about. Today's high of 17. A little bit deceptive because that happened early on today. We were hanging out kind of closer to 10 degrees for much of this Sunday. Still about 20 degrees below normal, and I think we could be about 30 to 35 degrees below normal over the next few days. Alert days in the forecast for tonight into Monday and Tuesday for the unseasonably cold temperatures and wind chills. We could be feeling like minus 30 in some spots tomorrow morning. The warmest we've felt throughout this Sunday has been -1, so even with that sunshine, really didn't help these temperatures all that much. Right now at 9 in Watertown, 7 in Juneau, 5 in Mineral Point, 10 in Madison, and 7 in Lone Rock. But with that wind chill, it does feel like -2 in Madison, -19 already in Platteville. And these colder wind chills are going to begin to filter a little bit farther to the south and east as we head into tonight and tomorrow morning. So for tonight, bitterly cold. Temperatures will fall to near -10. That could break a record daily low set for March 4th. If we do hit -10, the record is -9 set back in the 1880s. Wind chills of -20 to -30 are possible as we wake up on Monday. So that is some bitterly cold air on the way. So let's take a look at this on future track. Temperatures will continue to fall through these single digits and well below zero. As we get into Monday morning, temperatures anywhere from -5 to about -15 in some spots farther to the north and west. And then highs will only be in the single digits as we get into the afternoon, the warmest part of Monday. Wind chills will likely remain below zero for much of Monday and into early on Tuesday. A few flurries not out of the question, nothing significant for early on Tuesday. And we're starting off below zero once again on Tuesday morning. Highs get a little bit ever so warmer on Tuesday afternoon with highs in the mid-teens. So here's our future track wind chills to start Monday morning. Close to that threshold of -25 in Madison. Some other spots farther to the north and west, closer to Viroqua, could start off feeling like -30. And then throughout the day, the warmest we'll feel tomorrow is going to be about -10 at times, maybe closer to -5 if we're lucky, and then starting off feeling like -15 to -20 on Tuesday morning. So here is a look at your 10-day forecast. We notice that temperatures slowly but surely moderate as we get into the middle of this upcoming week. Highs will be in the upper 20s, closer to 30 degrees by the weekend. Could have a little bit of snow late Thursday and Friday, and we're watching this weekend, this upcoming weekend, I should say, very closely because we could be talking about another snow system on the way.
When is spring going to come? That's my main question.
Well, if you know, let me know so I can let everybody else know. I'm looking for it. I'm looking really hard.
Me too. Thank you, Dave. The girls' basketball tournament starts Thursday. We'll show you who's playing when next in sports.
Say
Well, what a finish for the Wisconsin men's hockey team. The Badgers swept Michigan over the weekend, both overtime wins. Wisconsin had only won 2 of 8 overtime games coming into the series against the Wolverines. Sean Doogie was the hero in Friday night's game, and last night it was Linus Weissbach who lit the lamp. Now it's postseason time. Wisconsin entering the Big Ten tournament as the 5 seed. They'll face 4th-seeded Penn State for the best of 3-game series. That starts on Friday. Wisconsin is 2-1 against the Nittany Lions. The women's team taking care of St. Cloud State over the weekend in the first round of the WCHA playoffs. But now the Badgers will face the team that's been their Achilles heel all season. Ohio State and Wisconsin will face off in Minneapolis on Saturday. The Badgers are 1-2 against the Buckeyes this year. 2 games left in the regular season for the Badgers men's basketball team. And if they want to get that double bye to start the Big Ten tournament, they'll have to win both of them. And if they lose one and win one, things get a little complicated. Iowa will come to the Kohl Center on Thursday for senior night on Thursday, and the Hawkeyes will be without Fran McCaffrey, who is serving a 2-game suspension. And Wisconsin will finish up the regular season at Ohio State. That is 1 week from today. Some other college hoops: Creighton visiting 10th-ranked Marquette at Fiserv. We pick it up in the second half. Creighton up 1, and Marcus Howard looking a little like James Harden there, the step-back 3. Marquette taking the lead. Now Howard with 33 points in the game. Under 30 to go. Creighton up 7, and that miss by Sam Hauser kind of seals the deal for them. Marquette losing back-to-back games for the first time this season, 64-57 the final. Well, over the weekend, 20 girls basketball teams across the state earned a spot at the state tournament, which will start at the Resch Center on Thursday. Here are the teams from our area. On Friday in Division 1, Middleton, who upset Sun Prairie yesterday, will face Mukwonago. And we've got 2 teams in Division 2. First, 2-time defending state champion Beaver Dam will face Hortonville on Friday afternoon. Beavers could potentially face the Cheesemakers, but Monroe has Whitefish Bay first. That's on Friday as well. And in Division 3, Marshall will play in their semifinal round on Thursday. No teams from our area in Division 4, but in Division 5, Blackhawk making another trip to state. They will face Fall River in the first game on Friday morning. Boys sectional semifinals this Thursday night at 7 in Division 1. Sun Prairie will try to do damage against Racing Horlick, the team that knocked off East. And Wanakee and La Follette will trek to Kenosha for a spot in the sectional final. In Division 2, the top 2 seeds, DeForest and Mount Horeb, facing off. And in Division 3 as well, Wisconsin Dells taking on top seed Stratford. More Division 3 action: Edgerton playing some dominating ball so far. They will face 3rd-seeded Turner. And Columbus, the 6th seed, will face top seed Waupun in West Allis. And in Division 4, Fenimore hoping to keep on upsetting teams. They'll face New Glarus in the sectional semis. And Belleville will face top seed Parkview at Oconomowoc. And last but not least, in Division 5, Southwestern and Shullsburg will play at Mineral Point. And Rio, coming off of a big overtime win over Barneveld, they will face top seed Randolph. So we will have a lot more sports, a lot more basketball to come for the next couple of weeks.
A lot of games to watch out for.
Yep.
All right, thank you so much. We'll be right back. Seems like this winter just won't end.
It won't. You're absolutely
So
right.
it continues into this next week, especially.
Yes. Especially as we get into tomorrow morning. It is quite on the cold side, that is for sure. Temperatures right now already down to 7 degrees in Madison, 5 in Mineral Point, and below 0 in Prairie du Chien and Decorah. Wind chills at -3 in Madison, -14 in Bosqueville, and those more harsh wind chills are getting closer to Madison over the next few hours. You can see those wind chills just take a nosedive closer to -25 as we start off tomorrow morning, and some of us could feel like -30 as we start off Monday. Another cold day on Tuesday before temperatures slowly moderate towards the end of this week.
All right, bundle up. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night.